almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Miners pregame show presented by Napa Auto Parts. I'm Emma Tatum alongside Austin Pollock. And just a little recap of yesterday's doubleheader between the Miners and the Pilots. Miners and the Pilots split it. The Miners lost in a 1-0 shutout in the first game, and things were not looking great, but a little kind of glimmer of hope was John Reed on the mound for the Miners. Finished with 4 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, walked 3, and gave up only 1 run, the only run that was scored by the Pilots. And the Miners just couldn't get things going when it came to the bats. They were just having a lot of trouble against the pitcher for the Pilots, Chandler Blanchard. But things really turned around in the second game. Miners headed into the bottom of the 7th inning tied at 3 runs apiece. And Dane Wunderlich was walked and was put on first base. And then Terrence Conley with an walk-off RBI single to win it for the Miners, 4-3. Conley was our player of the game in the second game, and John Reed player of the game in the first game. And the Miners and the Pilots meet again today here at Mulcahy in Anchorage. And what do you think the Miners are going to kind of come out and try and change from the last 2 games?
We look at the lineup. We see that it's shuffled a little bit. Cameron Frost back in there, didn't play in Game 2. He's batting 7th. He is 0 for his last 11. So I think Ben Taylor is just trying to try a different spot for him, see if he can hit the ball a little bit more. I mean, he's 9th in the league in hitting, so we know he's certainly capable of hitting the ball. And I think the other key is Ryan Hendricks pitched well against the Chinooks his last time out. 6 innings, just the 1 earned run. And we had talked about that after the game, and even before the game, I said, hey, if he can pitch a good game, get the win, get his team a win, and just build up some confidence, I think he may take off, and he's going to have a good start here tonight, I think, because of that confidence.
That's right, and Ryan Hendricks has a 1-1 record, pitched to 16 innings, 17 hits, 12 runs, 11 of those were earned, walked 9, struck out 19, has started 4 games with an ERA of 6.18. But, yeah, I think that if Hendricks can start off strong on the mound, they'll definitely transfer over to the Miners lineup. We'll go over that pretty quickly here. Paul Panachone leading off. He was the leadoff batter in the second game yesterday. Panachone at his usual spot at shortstop. Nick Blazer batting second at designated hitter. Cam Newell batting third out in right field. Josh Meyer, the Miner, the catcher tonight for Ryan Hendricks, batting fourth. Nick Senzel at second base. Matt Decker from Stanford playing at first. Cameron Frost out in center field, batting 7th. Dane Wunderlich out in left field, batting 8th. And batting 9th, Terrence Conley at third base. And we saw Conley batting 9th yesterday in the second game and also playing third base. And had a pretty good way to end it in the second game for the Miners with a walk-off win. And I just think that this is a pretty strong lineup. It's going to be interesting to see Blazer in that second spot. Meyer is also up in the 4th. And Frost drops down to that 7th. But I really don't think, in the grand scheme of things, that'll really matter. But I think that the Miners definitely need to get on the board early because we've had 3 walk-off endings between these 2 teams. And I think that if they get on the board early, they won't have to really worry about it as much, getting down to the bottom of the last inning and have to worry about that walk-off or scoring runs coming from behind.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that quite a bit. The key for the Miners is getting those runs early. It's so much easier to do that and work with the lead because rarely have the pitchers pitch so poorly where the other team comes back. That doesn't really seem to be the case. But it's certainly not. That's not the case for the Miners bats because when they're down, they come up. But it's just so much easier just to get those runs early as a boost of confidence throughout the game because sometimes it's like when you're down, like they were last night, it's like, oh no, we're losing. It's like, no. Keep your head up and keep fighting. That's what we do. And that's, I think, Ben Taylor's message to these guys. When you're down, don't give up. Keep grinding, keep going, and just do not stop. And that's what's good for the Miners. I mean, it's what they do. They come back, and it just shows how hard they fight and how hard they play for each other. But really, the key is getting those runs early against Drew Moravec, the right-hander from Kansas. And the Miners are familiar with Moravec, so that's a good sign for them. And something that Ben Taylor had said is against the Pilots, they try to take this in like 5-game series sort of things. The Miners were 3-2 in that first 5-game set. But right now, the Pilots have a 2-1 lead in what will be just a 4-game series. And then the fifth, of course, coming up the next time these two teams play. But Ryan Hendricks, he's in my mind right now. I want to see how he does against this Pilots lineup that strikes out a lot, but they're also very patient. They lead the ABL in walks. And the Chinooks, I mean, they're ball players. They're good. They play in the ABL. It's a prestigious league. But just not the strongest team with the bats. And this is a different team. The Pilots, they hit the ball a little bit better.
That's right, and that's kind of they're able to get on base both by their hitting and by walking and being patient at the plate. So it kind of goes two ways. You can't just throw balls to these guys and expect them to swing at them. They have a good idea of where the strike zone is, and will swing at the right pitch. And usually, at the top of the lineup with the Pilots, the first three batters are where it's really most important, where you throw those strikes and really have to focus on Portacio, Pack, Veers. Pojat's in that fourth spot, but has not hit yet against the Miners, has not had a hit. And then the bottom of the order just kind of tapers off for the Pilots. Thoreau batting 8th, hitting 188, and Dobson hitting 103, batting 9th. So it's really the top of the order. The first three batters are really where it's at for the Pilots when it comes to hitting. And I think that Ryan Hendricks knows that, knows, kind of what he's up against, and knows the batter's kind of style of playing. And it looks like we're about to get started here. And the Miner is here, the super fan for the Miners, who always dresses up with his hard hat, Miners gear. He's here.
I can't see him, but that's pretty cool that he comes down here.
It is 70 degrees here in Anchorage and sunny and beautiful. It's just a great day to play some baseball. It's a little windy, though, out in left field. The flags are flying to our left when moving from right to left.
Yeah, Baylor was saying actually during batting practice that the balls are flying today, and I think we might see a couple home runs here. It's easy. We haven't seen as many home runs here as I thought we would, but I think it's a night like this when the wind's blowing out or even to the left.
That can be the extra.
I think that's that extra boost. And the Miners, when they hit that power, it's not always, they don't pull it down that left field line. Very rarely have we seen balls hit close to the line. Usually it's left center, probably around that Geico sign right there. That's usually where they hit them, or maybe even a little bit more to the left.
Unless you're Cam Newell and you hit them over the right field fence.
That's true. Yeah, it's got 4 of them over there.
Well, we will step aside and as things kind of get started here at Mulcahy Field. And we'll be back with you just in time for the first pitch.
The Miners can tie this.
Baseball fans, and now the starting lineups for tonight's Alaska Baseball League matchup between the visiting Matsu Miners and your Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Leading off for the Miners from Grand Canyon, number 3, shortstop Paul Pinachone. Batting second from Cal State Northridge, number 4, designated hitter Nick Glazer. Batting third from UC Santa Barbara, number 14, right fielder Cam Newell. Batting fourth from Grand Canyon, number 24, catcher Josh Meyer. Batting fifth from the University of Tennessee, number 13, second baseman Nick Senzel. Batting sixth from Stanford, number 28, first baseman Matt Decker. Batting seventh from Washington State University, number 22, center fielder Cameron Frost. Batting eighth from Rice, number 9, left fielder Dane Wunderlich. And batting ninth from UNC Wilmington, number 26, third baseman Terrence Connolly. Starting pitcher for the Matsu Miners from Texas A&M, number 27, Ryan Hendricks. And now, the starting lineup for your Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Leading off from the University of Kansas, number 2, shortstop Justin Protasio. Batting second from Cal State Northridge, number 11, center fielder Chester Pack. Batting third from Fresno State, number 5, third baseman Kevin Beers. Batting fourth from the University of Hawaii, number 25, first baseman Trevor Pogratz. Batting fifth from West Virginia University, number 34, left fielder Sean Wood. Batting sixth from St. Mary's College, number 3, right fielder Nico Stein. Batting seventh from the University of Nebraska Omaha, number 31, designated hitter Clayton Taylor. Batting eighth from Delta College, number 16, catcher Colin Thoreau. Batting ninth from Fresno State, number 1, second baseman Ryan Dobson. And starting on the mound for your Glacier Pilots tonight from the University of Kansas, number 32, Drew Morovic. We now ask that you please rise and look to the left field wall. Please remove any hats or headwear that you have. And enjoy the national anthem as it's sung by Jasmine Butler.
Can you see by the dawn's early light, once so proudly we hailed at the twilight we shall and bright stars through the mellow sky, o'er the ramparts we watch for some galaxy sleeping. And the rockets break the land of our singing, getting through the night that our flag was silver. Oh, take the last stars fame, and I away for the land I free in the home of
How about another round of applause for Jasmine Butler, everyone? A friendly reminder that we're off on the 3rd, but return for the 4th of July festivities with kids opening at 5:30. There will be 2 7-inning games with the Bucks beginning at 7 and fireworks closing at midnight.
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back to the Mat-Su Valley.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Mat-Su Miners baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
2-0 pitch swung on, lifted to center field. Charging is Frost. Frost makes a diving catch. What a play by the center fielder.
Set out to deep right, going back is James Navant at the wall. He will watch it go.
High fly ball down the third base side, going back for it. It's at the wall. Smith Brown's first, heads to second, but it's in there standing for a leadoff double.
Here's the pitch. Swing, a high fly ball out to deep left. Back goes Adam Manzer. It's gone! A grand slam, and the Miners walk off with the win. Johnny Loker, welcome to the Valley.
And now, the voice of the Miners, Austin Pollock and Emma Tiedemann on the call right now.
Good evening and welcome inside Mulcahy Field in Anchorage. Game 4 of a 4-game series between the Miners and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann to my right. The Miners walked off last night a 4-3 win, an RBI double for Terrence Connolly in the bottom of the 7th. And the Miners with their second walk-off of the summer against the Pilots and left-hander Cameron Pongs. Just seems like these Miners bats just know exactly what Cameron Pongs is going to pitch.
That's totally right. And Terrence Conley stepped up to the plate in the bottom of the 7th, with 2 outs. Dane Wunderlich on first base. He was already walked by Pongs. Stepped up, had an 0-2 count, swung at the third pitch, and put it right into shallow center field. And Chester Pack charged at it, made a dive, but dove over the ball, kind of. And Wunderlich rounded second by that point. By the time Pack got up, Wunderlich was around third, made the throw in, and it was just a little too late, and Wunderlich slid in to win the game.
Starting on the mound for the Pilots is the right-hander from Kansas, Drew Moravec. 1-1 with a 4.76 ERA. He will face Paul Panachone, the shortstop from Grand Canyon, to start this one. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball low, ball 1. Panachone, 350, no home runs, 11 RBIs. Was 3 for 3 with 3 singles in Game 2 yesterday. 1-0. Fastball a little bit low, but it's called strike 1-1. Panachone is 12 for his last 25. Back-to-back games in the leadoff spot for him. 1-1 pitch. Chopper to the left side. Third baseman Veers takes it on 2 hops, throws across the diamond to first. 1 away. I'll bring up Nick Blazer, the designated hitter from Cal State Northridge. 278, no home runs, 5 RBIs. 0 for 2 in Game 2. 0 for 1 in Game 1. Pilots 2-1 through these first 3 games. Miners looking for a split. First pitch to Blazer is a slider. It's a ball a little bit low and outside, 1-0. Moravec sets, kicks, 1-0. Slap to the right side. Second baseman Dobson has it, throws to first, and quickly 2 away. That brings up Cam Newell, first in average in the ABL, 431, has 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. It's also first with a 707 slugging percentage. And first with a 522 on-base percentage.
Newell's having a pretty good summer so far.
So far, yes. First pitch from Moravec. Fastball a little bit low, ball 1. Newell has 1 strikeout in 58 at-bats. Right fielder does not strike out a lot. 1-0. Fastball, that's low, 2-0. Defensive alignment for the Pilots. Kevin Veers at third, Justin Protasio at short, Ryan Dobson at second, Trevor Podratz at first. Here comes the 2-0 from Moravec. Fastball, high fly ball to deep right center. Chester Pack is under it. Makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Moravec. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Pilots coming up in the bottom of the first on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. 1-2-3 inning for Drew Morovic and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. They're coming up to the plate against Ryan Hendricks, a right-hander from Texas A&M, 1-1 with a 6.18 ERA, 19 strikeouts in 16 innings. Justin Protasio, the shortstop from Kansas, to lead it off. Chester Pack, the center fielder, bats second, and then Kevin Veers, the third baseman. Hendricks with a very good start last week against the Chinooks. First pitch to Protasio is a fastball in there for strike one. So at the Miners' corners, Decker at first and Connolly at third, maybe expecting a bunt. That's way inside and goes to the screen, 1-1.
The outfield, Wunderlich in left, Frost in left center, and Newell in right center.
A very interesting shift for the Miners. 1-1, pitch, a fastball, a little high, 2-1.
Right field is wide open.
Well, I think if Protasio hits one down that right field line, with his speed, he's got an inside the park home run. He sends one foul to the left side, 2-2. Over the Miners' third base dugout. Josh Meyer behind the plate, catching Hendricks. Hendricks sets, kicks, the 2-2. And the turf gets away from the catcher Meyer all the way to the backstop. 3-2. Hendricks has his pitch. Here's the 3-2. That's high, ball four. Leadoff walk for the Pilots, and they have one on with nobody out. And Chester Pack coming to the plate. 368, no home runs, 10 RBIs. That 368 average is fifth in the ABL.
Number 11, center fielder, Chester.
Miners starters, as well as relievers, able to control his bat yesterday. He was 0 for 6 combined in the doubleheader. 0 for 2 in Game 1, 0 for 4 in Game 2. Outfield back to a more normal shift, I would say. Hendricks with a quick check on Protasio at first. He's back. Decker holding him on. Center fielder Frost, maybe about 5-6 steps toward right center. Pitch to Pack is a fastball inside, ball one.
There was only one batter for the Pilots yesterday that led off and reached base. That was Nico Steins with a single in the first game, and he scored. So these leadoff batters really can be troublesome for the Miners, but they also don't really get on base that often, especially the Pilots. But when they do, gotta keep an eye on them because most of the time they do score.
Pilots do walk a lot. 107 walks, that's first. Chopper behind the mound, charging is Panachone, takes it, throws to first, and retires Chester Pack one away, but Protasio to second base. That brings up Kevin Veers, the third baseman, 186, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Runner in scoring position, Protasio, he walked. Pilots are last in batting average, 237 on the young season. Panachone playing behind Protasio at second base. First pitch, fastball in the dirt, 1-0 on Veers. Connolly at third, Panachone at short, Senzel at second, Decker at first, Wunderlich in left, Frost in center, Newell in right, Meyer behind the plate catching Hendricks. 1-0, inside. 2-0, a slider from Hendricks. Lights are not on here at Mulcahy. 2-0. Fastball swung on and missed by Veers. 2-1.
Past couple of times the Miners have been at Mulcahy, it's rained.
Yeah. 2-1. Fastball swing and a miss. 2-2.
It's been raining off and on kind of the past few days. It rained yesterday in Palmer during the game, but they didn't call it.
2-2. Swing a foul off to the left. Connolly gives chase, but it's very out of play. 2-2, 1 out. Justin Protasio at second base. He walked. Hendricks sets. Here's the 2-2. Swing foul back to our left. Still 2-2.
That foul ball also sponsored by Carl.
And if that foul ball did damage to your car, visit our friends at the locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts store, locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. 2-2. Hendrick sets. Here it is. Ripped out to right. Newell going back. It's gone. 2-run home run for Kevin Beers. That's number 3, and the Pilots jump out early. It's 2-0 Anchorage. Not a fly ball, just a line drive over that Alaska USA sign and right, and all Newell could do was just look up and watch it go. Kevin Beers had a rough day yesterday. Off to a quick start here.
Yeah, Meyer kind of calming Hendricks down on the mound. He seemed kind of frustrated with that at bat. Was maybe frustrated with either the pitches or the calls by the umpire. And that home run, 2-run homer, does not help matters at all. So just take a deep breath and face Podrats.
Here's Trevor Podrats. First pitch is a fastball low, 1-0. Podrats checks in, 254, no home runs, 5 RBIs, 0 for 3 in both games yesterday. Here comes the 1-0 from Hendricks. Just over the plate, 1-1. Trevor Podrats is 0 for 23 against the Miners.
Hitless.
1-1. Up and in, 2-1. Center fielder Frost very deep in center. Big gap in right center for Podrats to go opposite field. 2-1 pitch. Little up and in, 3-1.
I think this is the first time that we've gone more than 2 pitches without Podrats swinging. Very different, more patient batter right now.
Wonderlick is deep in left too. 3-1. Chopper to the right side behind the mound. Nick Senzel throws off balance to first for out number 2. Podrats now 0 for 24 against the Miners. That brings up Sean Wood, the left fielder. 231, no home runs, 8 RBIs. A pinch hit appearance in Game 1. He walked. And was 0 for 1 with 2 walks in Game 2. From West Virginia. First pitch from Hendricks is a slider in there for a called strike, 0-1. Sean Wood from West Virginia was a college teammate of Bobby Boyd, who played for the Miners in 2012. Bobby was recently drafted. 0-1, breaking ball in there for a strike, quickly 0-2.
Good by Hendricks to get ahead early in the pitch count against Wood.
Here comes the 0-2. Little low, 1-2 on a fastball. Next 2 batters, Nico Signs and Clayton Taylor, they both homered in Game 2. They went back-to-back. Nico, then Taylor. 1-2, high fly ball to the left side. That's going to go foul. Dane Wonderlick, the left fielder from Rice, gave chase. 1-2 on Wood. 2-0 Pilots in the bottom of the first. 2-run home run for Kevin Veers. 1-2 from Hendricks. Little upstairs and a slider, 2-2. 2 outs. Miners went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Here's the 2-2 from Hendricks. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Ryan Hendricks. And we're through 1 inning, 2 runs, 1 hit. No errors, a 2-run home run for Kevin Beers. 2-0 Pilots, we're through 1. We head to the second on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Pilots lead 2-0 thanks to a 2-run home run for Kevin Beers in the bottom of the first inning. Josh Meyer facing Drew Morovic. At the top of the first, Meyer, Senzel, and Decker. First pitch to Meyer the Miner. Swing and foul off to the right. Quickly 0-1. Miners with the green tops today. The yellow numbers and front lettering. Pilots with the all white. Blue letters and red number on the front. Blue number on the back. 0-1 inside. Fastball 1-1 on Meyer. Did I get all those colors right?
You did.
All
Look at all
right.
those colors.
Yeah. Feeling a little bit better. Confidence booster, too. 1-1 to Meyer. Fastball chopper behind the mound. Charging is a shortstop. Portacio takes it, throws off balance to first in time. 4 straight set down by Drew Morovic. Here comes Nick Senzel. 225, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. 0 for 3 in Game 1, 1 for 2. Scored a run, had an RBI in Game 2. He's 3 for 16 against the Pilots. First pitch. Fastball a little bit low, ball 1. Outfield straight away. Little waggle the bat for Senzel. Here comes the 1-0 from Morovic. Inside, 2-0.
That was just about the same pitch that Morovic threw Meyer at his last at bat. High and inside with that fastball.
Trying to work the Miners inside here and jam them. Comes the 2-0 from the right-hander. Fastball swing and a miss. 2-1. Morovic knows this Miners lineup. This is the 3rd time he's facing them. 2-1. Here it is. Change up a little bit low. 3-1 on Senzel. Pilots lead 2-0. 2-run home run for Kevin Beers in the bottom of the first. Here comes the 3-1. Called strike. And a changeup, 3-2.
I think Senzel thought that was a ball 4. Kind of turned back to the dugout, ready to throw his bat.
3-2. Morovic kicks, fires. Upstairs, fastball, ball 4.
First walk by Morovic.
First base runner for the Miners. Brings up Matt Decker from Stanford. At first base tonight, 268, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Senzel has 5 stolen bases on first base. Decker was 0 for 3 in Game 2, hitless against the Pilots this summer. Morovic sets. First pitch, way outside. 1-0. Josh Meyer grounded out to short. Start the top of the second. 1-0. Here's the pitch inside, a fastball, 2-0. Miners off tomorrow. Team going to drive about an hour north and hike the Matanuska Glacier. One that Emma and I did, what, about a week ago?
Yeah, I'd say so.
2-0, way outside. 3-0, quickly on Matt Decker.
It's pretty cool that you play baseball in Alaska and on your off day you get to go hike a glacier.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
On the Cape, you go to the beach or something like that. 3-0. Inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up by Drew Morovic. Now the catcher Thoreau out to talk to the right-hander. Brings up Cameron Frost. First time he's batting out of that leadoff spot. Excuse me, second time. He batted second once.
This might be a pretty good job for Frost to get a few more RBIs. With Senzel on second, Decker on first, and Frost at the plate. 7 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs. Pretty good at getting those extra bases, bat a couple runs in and tie this up.
Senzel lead off second, Decker lead off first. First pitch to Frost. Just outside on a fastball, 1-0. Cameron checks in, 333, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. 0 for his last 11. Center fielder from Washington State slumping a little bit right now. 1-0, right over the plate, strike 1, 1-1. We always see Frost hitting in that tunnel, right near the Miners clubhouse, right off the tee. Works very hard. You know, he still just has a positive attitude. Talking with him during batting practice, he knows he's going to break out of this soon. 1-1. Low on a fastball, 2-1.
And he has not swung yet at a pitch. We've talking about a few games now that Frost has been swinging at just about every first pitch.
Warwick looks at second, delivers the 2-1. Fly ball to right, Nico signs, moves to his left, he can't, it drops! Frost on first, the throw into second, and Decker is out. I'm going to recap that. Ball wasn't really, it was a fly ball, but it just shifted with the wind more toward the right, that foul line in right field, and Nico was straight in right field, had to come all the way in, and that ball just fell fast. And I think the runner at second base, Decker, was waiting to see if he was going to catch it, and the best throw Nico had was at second base because Frost was already at first base. Here's Dane Wunderlich. First pitch is low for ball 1. Now runners at the corners. Senzel is at third. Decker is out 9-6 for the second out. And Frost on first, the fielder's choice. 1-0. Called strike. I think Wunderlich disagrees. Look back to the home plate umpire.
We'll have to see if the Miners are able to bat Senzel in. With runners in scoring position, the Miners have had a little bit of trouble leaving their players on base. Something that kind of need to work on a little bit. Hasn't been a huge problem, though.
1-1. Shot foul right over by the Miners dugout. Terrence Connolly makes the catch on the chopper in the on-deck circle. Chinooks and Oilers tied at 1 in the bottom of the second down in Kenai. Miners travel there this weekend.
I hear there's great fishing down in Kenai.
Oh, is there? I didn't know that. 1-2. Breaking ball little high, 2-2.
I think it's what they call the combat fishing. All the fishermen line up like right next to each other and cast out into the water, and I think it's not violent, but it's called combat fishing. Sounds intense.
Runner at first off, it's Frost. Wunderlich swings and lines to short. Protasio makes the catch, and the Miners leave 2 more on. It's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. We're through 1.5. Pilots lead 2-0 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners leave 2 on in the top of the second. Pilots lead 2-0. Ryan Hendricks back out there to face Nico Signs, Clayton Taylor, and Colin Thoreau. 2-run home run for Kevin Veers in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Hendricks, fastball line, and caught by a diving Terrence Connolly at third. That's why they call it the hot corner. Terrence Connolly just robbed Nico Signs of a base hit.
That might have been a double if that got past Conley. That was hit hard and fast off the bat of Signs. What a play by Conley.
And Connolly, we've seen him more at second base, but recently we've seen him taking ground balls at third base. Guess it's working. Here's Clayton Taylor, first pitch, a fastball, low ball 1.
It's a good way to get things started.
I'd say so. 1-0 as Taylor fouls it. We're by the on-deck circle, 1-1. Miners left 2 on. Dane Wunderlich lined out to short. Taylor fouls one right back, 1-2. No runs. No hits, no errors for the Miners. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Pilots. 1-2, very high. Fastball goes to the backstop over the glove of Josh Meyer. It's 2-2. Taylor, 255, 4 home runs. His 4th came yesterday against the Miners in Game 2. 2-2, fly ball left side. Connolly gives chase, and it's fouled into the bleachers. Still 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from Hendricks. Fastball in the dirt, full count.
That had a lot of speed behind it. I think that's probably the fastest pitch we've seen Hendricks throw so far. Just a little inside, and I don't know if Meyer was really expecting it to be that fast.
3-2. Fastball inside, ball 4. Second walk given up by Ryan Hendricks, and Meyer out to talk to him. 1 out base runner, and that brings up Colin Thoreau, the catcher, 188. No home runs, 1 RBI, 0 for 1 with a walk in Game 2 yesterday. Hendricks is going to have to make sure that his command is right on with Thoreau. Thoreau, a patient hitter, sees the ball well. 10 walks and 16 at-bats. First pitch, that's in the dirt inside. No movement from Taylor at first base. Hendricks most recently, really, the last couple batters, has been missing low. 1-0. Inside and low on a fastball, 2-0.
When he faces a right-handed batter, it seems that they're more inside than anything.
1 away, runner at first. Taylor walked. 2-0. Inside again, 3-0.
That one was close. Close to hitting Thoreau a little bit. He had to back up.
Yeah, he jumped out of the way. Hendricks tries to settle himself down behind the mound, comes back, toes the rubber. 3-0 sets. A pitch. Called strike fastball right on the inside part of the plate.
Another inside pitch.
3-1 on Thoreau. Ryan Dobson waits on deck. Hendricks sets. Pitch. Chopper left side. Connolly can't make a play. It goes into left field. Rounding second, heading for third is Taylor. He's in there. That ball was hit very hard. Took a tough hop on Connolly. And that's ruled an error. Air charge to Connolly at third. Catcher Meyer gives the signs to the infield, and Hendricks. Ryan Dobson coming up. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Connolly had to move a little bit to his left. And the hop, I think it actually went through his legs and like behind, if that makes any sense. First pitch to Dobson, a called strike.
I thought it rolled up into his glove off the heel of it, and he was picking it up, and it helped the momentum, and it went over.
And it went like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was so fast, too. 0-1 fouled off. Right to home plate. 0-2 on Dobson. Dobson 103, no home runs, no RBIs, 1 for 3 in Monday's game between these two teams here. 0-2. Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Ryan Hendricks, a big second out. Miners needed that one.
Oh, definitely. After that error and a walk before that, Miners needed something, positive to keep them going on this inning.
Back to the top for Justin Protasio. He walked and scored on the home run by Kevin Veers. First pitch, a called strike, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Protasio is 3 for 8 in the last 3 games against the Miners. 0-1. Another called strike, slider, 0-2.
Don't know if Protasio is happy about that. He kind of left the batter's box mumbling or saying something to himself.
Hendricks working quickly. 0-2 pitch. Slap to third. Connolly has this one. Throws to second for the force to retire the side. Ryan Hendricks gets out of a big jam. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on. We're through 2. Pilots lead the Miners 2-0. We head to the third on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the third inning here at Mulcahy Field, and the Pilots with an early lead over the Miners, 2-0. Drew Morvik still on the mound for the Pilots through 2 innings, has given up no runs, no hits. Miners have left 2 on base. And start things off here in the top of the third, Terrence Conley, third baseman. First pitch by Morvik swung on, and that is caught. Line drive to the second baseman, Dobson. 1 pitch, 1 out, and we head to the top of the order for the Miners. Paul Panachone, the shortstop, grounded out in the first.
Connolly hit that ball, I would say, pretty much the same spot where he hit the walk-off double last night.
Just about, but that time Dobson was ready for it and had to leap up to grab it. First pitch inside to Panachone, but called strike. 0-1 count now. Outfield playing straight away. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Panachone. Breaking ball in there, little high for ball 1. Panachone entered the game with a .350 average. No home runs, but 11 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 1 triple. 1-1 pitch. High and inside, ball 2. Panachone a little more patient at this at-bat. Swung at one of the first pitches by Morvik, his first at-bat in the first inning. 2-1 pitch by Morvik. Swung on ground ball to the shortstop, Protasio. Fields it, throws to first, And that's 2 away here in the top of the third. Brings up Nick Blazer, the designated hitter. 0 for 1 with a ground out to the second baseman Dobson in the first. Blazer doing the designated hitting tonight from Cal State Northridge, a teammate of Chester Pack who is in center field for the Pilots. Swings at the first pitch, and that's strike 1. Blazer with 5 RBIs and 2 doubles with a .278 average. The 0-1 pitch by Moravec. Shows bunt and takes it as a strike instead. So now Blazer now down to the count. No balls, 2 strikes. And already 2 away here quickly. Top of the third. Cam Newell on deck. Moravec takes a deep breath. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball down the third base side. Blazer stays alive with the 0-2 count. Cam Newell on deck, 0 for 1 with a flyout. Blazer steps back into the batter's box. 0-2 pitch. High and inside, ball 1, and it's off the glove of Thoreau, the catcher. Let's go and pick it up and throw it back to Moravec on the mound.
Kind of looks like it went in his glove and he didn't close it, and it just sort of popped out.
1-2 count now for Blazer. Here's the pitch. High over his head for ball 2. Blazer kind of had to duck down on that pitch. High and inside.
There's a breaking ball from Moravec. Just lost a little bit of command on it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High and inside again for ball 3. Now Blazer battles back from an 0-2 count now with a full count against Moravec. Moravec walked 2 batters in the second inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on. That'll get down for a base hit into shallow center field. Blazer on base now, and Cam Newell, the tying run at the plate.
Good piece of hitting by Nick Blazer. And when Newell's at the plate, you want a runner on if you're the Miners. Because if it's a double and you've got speed at first base,
Which Blazer has.
there's a chance if the ball's hit hard enough and deep enough, or in a spot where it's tough for the fielder to get it, Blazer could score. Cut this lead for the Pilots in half.
Cam Newell 0 for 1 with a flyout to center field in the first inning. First pitch swung on, foul back for strike 1. Newell hitting .431, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 4 doubles. Newell a lefty. Steps back into the box. Moravec sets. Deep breath. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it as a ball. Blazer with a lead off of first.
Seagulls here at Mulcahy Field.
Well, we are even closer to water here in Anchorage than in Palmer. Blazer the lead off of first. Pitch to Newell, high for ball 2. And through the season so far, Blazer has 1 stolen base and has not been caught stealing. So 1 for 1.
Command trouble for Drew Moravec. Throw more balls than strikes. 24 balls, 21 strikes.
2-1 count to Newell. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into right field. Going back for it is Signs. That gets down at the wall. Blazer rounds second. Heads to third. Rounds third. Newell in there for the double. And Nick Blazer scores. So Newell the RBI double. And Josh Meyer at the plate to try and tie things up with Newell on second.
That's exactly what I was talking about. As long as Newell could hit it to the right part of the ballpark, Blazer's got speed. He could score, and he's actually fortunate that Protasio, who was on our right side of second base actually kind of misplayed a little bit and went into his glove and then off his glove. If he had made the catch, he could have turned, and Blazer was just rounding third base. I think it was going to be a close play.
Yeah, definitely. And signs, I thought that he had it, but maybe the wind kind of carried it a little bit to the wall. And Meyer swings at the first pitch, and it goes deep into right. Signs backpedaling, makes the catch. And that ends the inning here. But one run scored for the Miners. As we head to the bottom of the third, the Miners trailed the Pilots 2-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the third inning here at Mulcahy. Miners score one run in the top of the third off an RBI double by Cam Newell. Newell batted in Nick Blazer. And Ryan Hendricks on the mound here in the bottom of the third for the Miners. At the plate, Chester Pack. First inning out of 6-3, fielder's choice. First pitch in there for a strike by Hendricks. Hendricks walked 2 in the second. Conley had an error, which moved Taylor up to third base. But then Ryan Hendricks struck out Dobson, and Portacio got off with a fielder's choice to end the inning. So Hendricks able to pitch his way out of a jam. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball right back up the middle of the field. And that's a base hit for Chester Pack and a leadoff single.
Boy, Paul Panaccione was just he was charging for that one. He wanted it. He was just ranging to his left. Went into that dive and just missed it.
By inches, probably, and brings up Kevin Veers, the third baseman who hit a home run last at bat, 2-run homer. First pitch low for ball one by Hendricks. Veers hitting 186, his third home run of the season, 12 RBIs, 5 doubles. In there for strike one for Hendricks. 1 ball, 1 strike, and nobody out with a runner on first. Hendricks sets. 1-1 pitch. Runner goes at first and is safe as Meyer loses the ball. That's a stolen base for Chester Pack. And a 2-1 count for Kevin Veers at the plate.
7th stolen base for Chester Pack.
Pack very quick on his feet. Two-one pitch. Swung on, broken bat right to the second baseman. Senzel picked up, throw to first for the first out, but Chester Pack able to move up to third base. And that brings up Trevor Podratz 0 for 1 tonight and hitless against the Miners throughout the whole summer.
Yeah, the barrel of the bat went flying to the right of Ryan Hendricks on the mound, and Veers kind of held on to the handle.
Seen quite a few broken bats this summer, especially one of the games at Loretta French Field against the Chinooks. First pitch to Podrats in the dirt for ball one. Pack at third base. Hendricks sets. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball down the first base side, foul. Evens the count at 1. Podrats taps the bat on his toes. Steps back into the box. Hendricks checks third. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. And that is strike 2. That is Podrats went around on that one. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 away here at the bottom of the third. Hendricks with a sign from Meyer. 1-2 pitch. Another foul down the first base side.
That one almost snuck inside that first base foul line. Would have been fair. Definitely would have scored Chester Pack. A fly ball deep enough in the outfield will score Chester Pack. He's got the speed. Infield in.
1-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. Hendricks comes off the mound to catch the ball from Meyer. Some sirens here around Mulcahy. Pretty good crowd also here in Anchorage. 2-2 pitch by Hendricks. Little outside for ball 3.
Hendricks did not like the call.
And Meyer also held it there, but called ball, full count for Podrats. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, foul. Podrats stays alive. Foul ball towards the Miners dugout on the third base side. Hendricks sets with the 3-2. Here's the pitch. High and inside, ball 4. Now runners on the corners for the Miners. And with the Miley Cyrus walk-up song, it is left fielder Sean Wood. Party in the USA. In case you were wondering, Sean Wood 0 for 1 with Hendricks' first strikeout in the first inning. First pitch, catches that low outside corner for strike 1. Wood hitting .231 with 8 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. 0-1 pitch, big swing for strike 2. Hendricks now up in the count 0-2.
I think Cameron Frost in center field is having maybe a little bit of a hard time trying to decide where to stand and just feel the ball that's hit to him. He's kind of moved around a little bit during the at-bat.
0-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 with a foul tip into the glove of Meyer. And the third strikeout of the night for Ryan Hendricks. Brings up Nico Saenz, the right fielder, 0 for 1. The line out to Terrence Conley, the third baseman. Still runners on the corners here in the bottom of the third. Pilots lead 2-1 over the Miners. First pitch to Saenz. In there, strike 1. Pack on third base, reached on a single, stole second, then reached third on a fielder's choice. Veers grounded out. Podrats was walked. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball still high. 1-1 count. Podrats at first with a walk. Then Wood struck out for the second out of the inning. 1-1 pitch. Runner goes at first. Podrats slides into second. And now I have 2 runners in scoring position. And first base wide open. Now there's not a force, only at first base, rather than first and second for the Miners.
Interesting decision for the Pilots.
2-1 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into right field. And that's foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Signs, hitting .242 with 5 home runs and 11 RBIs, but no doubles and no triples. So he has the power to hit it out of here, but hasn't hit for any other extra bases other than home runs. No doubles and no triples.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting decision for the Pilots to send Podras. Does not have speed.
Yeah, I wouldn't think of him as a speedy guy.
But Meyer didn't throw down because he wanted to see what Chester Pack was going to do at third.
2-2 pitch, high and outside, ball 3.
Hendricks not happy. No, but the other thing is, I think the Pilots knew that Meyer wasn't going to throw.
3-2 pitch, swung on for strike 3. Dropped strike 3 though, as Meyer has to throw it to first to Sanford's Mac Decker, and that retires the Pilots. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. As we head to the top of the 4th, the Miners trail the Pilots 2-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the 4th here at Mulcahy Field. Miners still trail 2-1 here against the Pilots. Starting things off for the Miners is Nick Senzel. First pitch by Morvik. Swung on, foul down the third base side. Senzel was walked in the 2nd inning for his last at bat. Made it to third, but then was left on base. Senzel out of the University of Tennessee. 0-1 pitch by Morvik. Low and outside, ball 1. We've actually been able to talk with the head coach at University of Tennessee, Dave Serrano. He's been visiting. His son Kyle is one of the pitchers for the Miners. 1-1 pitch by Morvik. Low, ball 2. Actually had him on during one of our games against the Chinooks at Loretta French Field in Chugiak. Morvik takes a deep breath. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, another foul down the third base side. For strike 2, evens the count at 2-2. Senzel, freshman All-American, hitting .225 with 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 1 triple. Steps back into the batter's box. 2-2 pitch by Morvik. Low in the dirt for ball 3, and actually in the turf for ball 3. Mulcahy Field is a turf field, except for the outfield is natural grass. 3-2 pitch by Morvik. Swung on, another ground ball, fouled on the third base side. Senzel stays alive.
Pilots lead 2-1. Still early, though. Always time for a rally from the Valley.
3-2 pitch. High inside for ball 4. Third walk of the night for Drew Moravec, the Jayhawk out of Kansas. And tonight we're playing through 9 innings versus the 2 7-inning games that the Miners played yesterday for the doubleheader. Brings up Stanford's Matt Decker at first base. Was walked in the second, then was thrown out at second base with a 9-6 fielder's choice. First pitch in there for strike 1. Decker hitting .268 with 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles. Moravec looks in, throws to first. Senzel slides in and is safe. Senzel has been stealing quite a few bases lately. Definitely someone to look out for on the base path for the Pilots. 1-0 pitch, high and outside, ball 2. Moravec ended the inning with a flyout, but Blazer scored off of a single, off the double, RBI double by Cam Newell, and Blazer scored, already on base by a single. 1-1 pitch, swung on high, fly ball into right center field. Signs takes a couple steps in and makes the catch. That's 1 away here in the top of the 4th for the Miners. Brings up Cameron Frost, batting in the 7th position tonight. A little bit different than the 1st or 2nd spot we've seen him in. Reached first base in the 2nd inning off of fielder's choice. Playing in his usual spot in center field. First pitch, high for ball 1, and Frost seeming a little more patient than we've seen in the past few games. I think if Moravec was to pitch that to Frost yesterday, Frost might have swung at it. Seen him swing at a lot of first pitches. Just kind of step back and letting them go by. Moravec pitches this low and away, ball 2.
Catcher thought about throwing it down to first. Senzel with a big lead off first. Bodrat's holding him on.
Moravec sets, takes a deep breath. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That same spot, low and away for ball 3. Frost now up in the count. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. 3-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. Now 3-1 count for Frost with Senzel on first. That's the tying run against the Pilots, and Frost is the leading run. 3-1 pitch to Frost. High and outside, ball 4, and that puts now 2 runners on the base path with Dane Wunderlich, the left fielder, up at the plate.
Yeah, patience pays off there.
That is 4 walks tonight for Drew Moravec, and his catcher, Thoreau, is going to head out to the mound, have a little chat with him after 2 walks in a row. Here in the top of the 4th with only 1 out.
Miners also haven't struck out yet in the game.
Wunderlich from Brenham, Texas, goes to Rice University. Waves the bat. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Moravec seems to just always hit that same spot, that low and away, and has just not been able to really find that strike zone. 1-0 pitch. Senzel goes at second. It's a high fly ball into deep left, and it is out of there for a 3-run home run. Miners now ahead 4-2 over the Pilots. For Dane Wunderlich, his first home run on the season. And just a perfect shot right over the left field fence for that 3-run home run.
Just a shot. We were talking about how the wind is going to try to carry a couple balls tonight, and you see it just off that light post in left field. Hit it and ricocheted to the left.
So that makes it now a 4-2 ball game as Terrence Conley takes first pitch as a ball. So things quickly turn around for the Miners with that home run shot by Wunderlich. There's the 1-0 pitch to Conley. Swung on, it's a high fly ball in the infield. Veers calls for it. Portacio waves him off and makes it 2 outs.
You know, it's hits like that home run for Wonderlic that just kind of bring you back into it when you're in a funk.
Definitely, and it brings us back to the top of the order with Paul Panachone. The shortstop 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs to third base and to shortstop. First pitch, inside, called strike. A 1 pitch by Moravec. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. Portacio makes the throw to first in time, and that is out number 3. But 3 runs scored to put the Miners ahead of the Pilots, 4 runs to 2. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 4th, and the Miners still on top, 4-2. Dane Wonderlic with a 3-run home run to put the Miners ahead of the Pilots. And at the plate, Clayton Taylor, designated hitter for the Pilots. First pitch by Ryan Hendricks, the A&M Aggie. A little lone outside for ball 1. Taylor, 1-0 pitch, big swing for strike 1. Taylor was walked in the second inning, reached third on an error, but then was left on base. 1-1 pitch, jack swing, didn't go around for ball 2. Hendricks seeming to work a little bit faster here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 pitch, foul back, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and looks like Matt Decker from Incarnate Word and Ryan Oglesby's, they're heading out to the the bullpen. 2-2 pitch, foul back again by Taylor. Two balls, 2 strikes, and nobody away here in the bottom of the 4th. That's high and outside for ball 3. Full count now for Hendricks. Swung on, ground ball to the first baseman. Stanford's Matt Decker tags the bag before Clayton Taylor can get there for the first out. Brings up catcher Colin Thoreau. Reached base on an error by Terrence Conley, the third baseman. Then was thrown out at second with the fielder's choice. Righty versus righty between Thoreau and Hendricks. First pitch. Catches that outside, just outside the strike zone for ball 1.
Nah, that looked like a good pitch to me.
1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, right over the plate.
Pretty much the same pitch.
Now that was more center, more in the center. 1-1 pitch by Hendricks. Same spot for strike 2. Hendricks throwing 3 fastballs in a row, right?
Yep.
1-2 pitch. Way outside. It gets past Meyer. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Miners lead 4-2 over the Pilots. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball high, ball 3. Thoreau with 1 RBI, 1 double, no home runs, hitting 188 in the bottom of the order. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, it's a fly ball into right center field. Going back for it is now at the wall. It'll bounce back to Newell. Makes the throw into Sinzel, and that is a double for Colin Thoreau.
Just right off that Alaska USA sign. Big monster double.
That had a lot of power. I thought that was going to get out of here.
It hit just the top of that wall.
That brings up Dobson, the second baseman. Was struck out in the second, 0 for 1 tonight. Dobson calls time, steps out of the box. Hendricks keeping an eye on Thoreau at second. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Thoreau with 1 stolen base on the season. 1-0 pitch by Hendricks. Swung on, ground ball up the first base side. That's fair. Thoreau heads into third, rounds third. Dobson in second, and Thoreau scores. And the Pilots now down just by 1 run, and Dobson with the RBI double. And now head coach Ben Taylor is going to come out to the talk with the umpire.
I'm wondering what he's asking about.
I think he's saying he didn't touch the third base bag.
Could be. I don't think it has anything to do with Newell and right, and whether that was fair or foul.
No, I could even see that.
Yeah.
My vision is blocked by a wall. I could see that was fair. But I think it was Thoreau not tagging third base, but brings us back now to the top of the order. That's 2 doubles in a row for Hendricks. He's up Justin Portaccio, and Brad Baker, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk with his pitcher, Ryan Hendricks, and I'll bring in the infield. I think it might be too early for a pitching change. Brad Baker probably just going to talk things over with Hendricks. That was the first double for Dobson, and also first RBI of the season.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned that it's too early for a pitching change. Hendricks is over 80 pitches.
Whoa. That pitching out pretty high there.
I'm sure there's action in that bullpen.
Oh, there is. I think it's Matt Decker from Incarnate Word.
I feel like that's a common thing right there when we're in Anchorage.
Josh Meyer heading back to the plate.
Looks up, sees us, just a little bit of a smile.
Portaccio was walked in the first, thrown out with a fielder's choice in the second. High fly ball into left center. Frost going back, under it, makes the catch, and will hold Dobson at second base.
Dobson just stepped off the base and faked that he was tagging up, and it's smart for him that he didn't, because that was a great throw in from Cameron Frost. A dangerous bat coming up.
Brings up Chester Pack. Had a single in his last at bat in the third inning. Stole second base, reached third on the fielder's choice, but then was left on. First pitch by Hendricks. Big swing for strike 1. Pack in the first inning. Grounded out with a fielder's choice, 6-3. Hendricks sets. 0-1. In there for strike 2. Hendricks looking a lot better here. He's been talking with Brad Baker. You have a pigeon just about dive bomb on the field there. Hope that came on the video feed. That was pretty entertaining. 0-2 pitch. Foul down the first base side. Dobson on second, just itching to run. Hendricks need to keep an eye on him.
It's about that time to give our viewers a little check on our wildlife situation.
We do have new developments in that area.
We'll give that to you at the start of the next half inning.
High ball 1. Dobson on second base has 2 stolen bases on the season with 1 caught stealing. 2 for 3. 1-2 count to Pack. Caught swinging for strike 3 and the 5th strikeout of the night for Ryan Hendricks. As we head to the top of the 5th, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Miners lead 4-3 over the Pilots. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Pilots get a run in the bottom of the 4th. RBI double for Ryan Dobson. Now the Miners try to get some insurance runs. They lead it 4-3 in the top of the 5th. First pitch from Drew Moravec is in the dirt to Nick Blazer, and the catcher throw kind of just fell back. Fell right back. Blazer 1 for 2. 1-0 from Moravec. Chopped off his, I think maybe his foot. No.
He's holding his elbow.
Yeah. Maybe kind of that forearm.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it came up off the turf.
Popped him in the
and
arm.
Popped him there, and he's shaking it off right now. 1-1 on Blazer. Little guy, 5'8". I like standing next to him because I feel like I don't have to actually look up. 1-1 from Moravec. Inside on a fastball, 2-1.
Blazer is another entertaining player on the team. Nice guy, always has a smile on his face, joking around.
2-1. Shot foul over by Ben Taylor. He scoops it up. Coaching third base. 2-2 on Blazer. Center fielder Pack playing in. Blazer's single in the 3rd was hit right at Chester Pack, dropped in front of him. 2-2. Up and in over Blazer's back. He bent down.
The second time that Moravec has thrown over Blazer.
Yeah, he's gripping that breaking ball, and sometimes you just lose control. 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. Second time Blazer's been on.
He scored the last time he was on. Reached on a single and was scored in by Cam Newell's RBI double.
5th walk given up by Drew Moravec. I'll bring up Cam Newell. Newell hit a double. RBI double in the 3rd that scored Blazer. Shows bunt, drops it down. Blazer to second. Moravec fields it, bobbles it, and can't make the play. Cam Newell's going to reach. Blazer up to second. That's an error charge to Moravec. First Defensive miscue for the Pilots. So now 2 on with nobody out, and Josh Meyer coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to right in the third. Hit it very deep. Just in front of the track, and Nico Sainz made the catch. 4-3 Miners lead the Pilots in the top of the 5th. Moravec sets. First pitch. In the dirt low, 1-0 on a fastball. Meyer 6 for his last 7. Excuse me. Has hit in 6 of his last 7 games. 1-0. Fly ball right side. Trevor Podratz gives chase. And even I'm blinded. He is out. Trevor Podratz made the catch. There's a camera, a little photographer's sort of well right in front of us, or just to our right. So Emma really can't see.
I didn't even try.
And if it's over by the Pilot's dugout, I can't see at all. So we're kind of in trouble on a play like that. But that's the first out. Runners still at first and second. Blazer at second. Newell at first. And here's Nick Senzel. First pitch is a called strike. Fastball, a little high. Senzel has reached twice. Both walks. Scored in the 4th. On the home run by Dane Wunderlich. Moravec sets. 0-1. Breaking ball in there. Strike 0-2. Moravec at 80 pitches.
About the same as Ryan Hendricks.
Just about even balls and strikes. 0-2 to Senzel. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's the first strikeout for Drew Moravec.
Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, well, Senzel chased a 0-2 fastball. It was right over the plate. Looked to be a little late on it. Here's Matt Decker. 0 for 1. Flew out to right in the 4th. Emma, you have to let me know. Is there still any action at that Miners bullpen?
Yes.
Decker swings and misses at a high fastball, strike 1.
I think it's the other Matt Decker.
Okay. Just gotta hope there are no Anchorage Pilot hits a ball back to the mound and Decker has to field the Decker.
That'd be awesome.
1-0, breaking ball, little high, 1-1.
There's a sign over the top of the bullpen for the Miners, and I can't see exactly who it is, but I'm pretty sure I saw Decker go out there with his socks up.
Moravec's 1-1. Fastball, line, jumping is Protasio, can't make the catch. Rounding third, headed for home is Blazer. He's hustling. Miscue in left field by Wood, and Decker is on second base. Sean Wood just couldn't field that. I mean, that could be an error. It's 5-3 Miners. You have to wait for the scoring on that as well.
Yeah, he just couldn't pick it up.
I mean, that's not an error on Protasio. He's 5'5". That's a
No.
tough play for him to catch. But it just dropped right in front of Wood and seemed to bobble it. Here's Cameron Frost. First pitch him, line and caught by Kevin Beers at third. But the Miners get a run. Don't know if that's a hit or not. We still have to wait for the official scoring. But the Miners do get a run. They lead at 5-3. We're through 4.5 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners get a run in the top of the fifth. They lead it 5-3. And a little bit of a confusing situation in left field on that ball hit by Matt Decker over the head of the shortstop Protasio and then mishandled in left field. Decker credited with a single, but Blazer scored on the error by the left fielder. First pitch to Kevin Veers is just a little outside on a fastball, but it is a called strike against the new pitcher Matthew Decker from Incarnate Word. There are now two Deckers, Matt Deckers, on the field for the Miners. The other Decker is at first base. Breaking ball from Matthew Decker is ball one. A little inside and low. Night done for Ryan Hendricks. Having the line in just a second. Decker sets 1-1. Breaking ball in there, strike. 1-2. A little bit low, more so at the knees. So back to what I was explaining. Blazer scored on the error by Wood, and then Newell advanced to third on the error by Wood. Veers fouls one to the left side, out of play, still 1-2. Matthew Decker, the left-hander from Incarnate Word.
San Antonio, Texas.
Nobody out, faces Kevin Veers. Here's the pitch. Fouled over by the Miners dugout. Breaking ball, still 1-2. Decker, last pitched here at Mulcahy. That was on Monday. No decision. 2 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. 1-2 to Veers. Up and in a fastball, 2-2. No record of 4.90 ERA. This is his third appearance. 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Decker sets. The 2-2 to Veers. Outside fastball, 3-2. Hopefully the umpire's been giving the pitchers these outside strikes, especially with a left-handed batter. Doesn't get it there. Veers hit a 2-run home run in the first. Rounded out to second in the third. 3-2. Up and away, ball 4, leadoff walk.
The last lead-off walk in the first inning scored. That was Protasio.
Brings up Trevor Podratz, 0 for 1. Walked his last time up, stole second base, and then grounded out to second in the first. 0 for 24 against the Miners this summer. Cameron Frost deep in center, as is Wunderlich in left. Takes more steps back. First pitch to Podratz is a fastball high, ball 1. I'm kind of scanning the infield, saying, all right, Connolly at third, Panachone at short, Senzel at second, 1-0 to Podratz. There's a called strike, breaking ball, 1-1. Senzel's at second, Matt Decker's at first base, Josh Myers catching, Matt Decker's on the mound. I'm like, wait a second. It's very unique. I'll tell that story in just a second. Decker holds, sets, 1-1 to Podratz. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Podratz chased a fastball low in the dirt. General Manager Pete Christopher called me. It's the day, probably a day or two before Incarnate Words, Matt Decker got here and said, there's a new pitcher coming. I said, okay. He goes, don't laugh when I tell you his name. I laughed.
I thought it was just going to be a funny name.
1-2. Podratz fouls it over by the Pilots dugout. Still 1-2. Yeah, so did I. I thought maybe I was going to hear Austin Pollock. I was going to say, there's
But that's
not a chance.
That's not a funny name.
Sure it is.
I thought it was just going to be, like, unique, but not, the same name. I guess Matt Decker would be, like, a more common name.
Than Austin Pollock. Decker throws to Decker at first. Check on Veers. He's back. 1-2 on Trevor Podratz from the University of Hawaii. Decker sets. Throws to first. Check on Veers. He's back. Interesting story, actually, from earlier today. Trevor Podratz's team last summer on the Cape lost today 12-5, and the team they faced, the player hit 2 grand slams. 1-2. Podratz swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, and that's strike 3. First strikeout for Matthew Decker, 1 away. Sixth strikeout for Minor pitching, and that brings up Sean Wood 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Line is final on Hendricks, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. First pitch popped up in shallow left. Wunderlich coming in, Panichon going out. Wunderlich is there, makes the catch for out number 2. Sean Wood now 0 for 3.
And I thought I was a little concerned there with where the ball, it kind of looked like the wind caught it and kind of held it there at its peak there for a little bit, but good hustle by Wunderlich charging for it, and Panichon was there to cover him if needed.
That brings up Nico Sainz, right fielder from St. Mary's College in California. Runner at first is Kevin Veers. Decker sets, first pitch. Line and under the glove of Panichon into left, a base hit. Kevin Veers up to second on the 2-out single for Nico Sainz, his first hit of the night. That brings up Clayton Taylor, designated hitter 0 for 1. Walked in the second, rounded out to first in the 4th.
It's got more of a heavy metal kind of walk-up song.
You know, I find it interesting. The Pilots have these walk-up songs. They don't do walk-up songs at Herman Brothers. At least I haven't heard them. Trying to think.
You haven't really noticed them.
That's what I mean. I haven't really noticed it. Taylor, first pitch swing is a hard grounder to first.
Something to look
Foul.
out for.
Yeah, foul. 1-1 on Taylor. Yeah, that might be something to bring up. Might be a kind of cool idea. It'd be funny to see what everyone chooses. Decker looks at second. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Miners. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Pilots. Runners at first and second, 2 away. 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Meyer. Runners advance. Veers to third. Sainz to second on the pass ball. Two and 1 on Clayton Taylor. And a home run yesterday in Game 2 at Herman Brothers. Miners won that game 4-3. Walk-off double for Terrence Connolly. 2-1. Hard ground to the right side. Decker takes it himself to the bag for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. We're through 5. 5-3 Miners on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 6th here at Mulcahy, and the Miners still with a 5-3 lead over the Glacier Pilots. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. First pitch to Dane Wunderlich, who had a home run at his last at bat. And there for strike one by the new pitcher on the mound for the Pilots, Johnny York. 0-1 pitch. Inside for ball one. The lefty. 1-1 pitch. Inside for strike two.
Final line on Drew Moravec, 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout.
1-2 pitch called ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Johnny York from St. Mary's College in California.
2-2 pitch. Swung on for strike three, and that's the first out of the inning and first strikeout for York, who worked extremely fast. Brings up Terrence Conley, the third baseman, 0 for 2 with a line out and a fly out. Lefty versus lefty now with York and Conley. First pitch, blown away, ball one. Conley hitting .263, has 6 RBIs and 3 doubles. 1-0 pitch, inside for ball two. Conley hit the walk-off RBI double last night, to beat the Pilots. 2-0 pitch, swung on, ground ball to Dobson. Second baseman throws off balance to first, and that's out number 2. Miners now back on the top of the order with Paul Panachone. 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs. 1 to the third baseman Veers, and then 2 to the shortstop Portacio. First pitch by York in there for strike. Oh, 1 pitch, high and inside, ball one.
This is the 5th appearance for Johnny York. He's 1-0, the 1.10 ERA.
1-1 pitch, foul, back 2 strikes now.
18 strikeouts and 16 1/3. Also 10 walks.
1-2 pitch, ground ball up into right field. Paul safe. The throw in by Signs to Podrats. Close play there at first, but Panachone hustles, and his quickness really shows up on that play, able to beat the throw into first.
You know, you see that every once in a while, but it's still very rare, especially for a leadoff hitter like Panachone. And I think it was more of a... I mean, he was running. He was running as hard as he could.
First pitch to Blazer is a broken bat, ground ball to the third baseman, and throws it into Dobson to a sliding Panachone for the third out. With the 5-4 fielder's choice. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Miners lead 5-3 over the Pilots. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th, Miners lead 5-3 over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. First up for the Pilots here at the bottom of the 6th, Colin Thoreau, the catcher. Reached base on an error in the 2nd. Had a double in the 4th, then was batted in by Dobson. Matt Decker from Incarnate Word in San Antonio, Texas, still on the mound for the Miners. First pitch to Thoreau, high, ball 1. Thoreau hitting 188 with 1 double and now 1 RBI and now 2 doubles. 1-0 pitch. In there, strike 1, right over the plate, fastball. A little bit of an overcast now here in Anchorage.
Still a very good night for a game.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Stadium lights still not on, but they're not really needed. It's getting a little, not too dark, but
not as dark as game 2 last night late in the game.
Definitely.
That got dark. Not dark like it would be
like you can't see
in
the
any
stars.
other state in the country.
1-2 pitch swung on, ground ball to Senzel, the second baseman, makes the throw to Decker at first. That's 1 away.
You know, when we say dark in Alaska, we mean more like in the summer, let's say in Massachusetts, probably more like 8:30.
Yeah.
Nah, 8.
Probably the same thing in Dallas. Brings up Dobson, the second baseman, with the heavy metal walk-up song. 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the 2nd by Ryan Hendricks. First pitch, throws bunt, pulls back, strike 1. Dobson with an RBI double in the bottom of the 4th. It's his first double and first RBI of the season. He's hitting 103. 0-1 pitch. Bunt again. Gets it down the third base line. Picked up by Conley. Off balance throw to first. He's safe. Conley almost had him there. And just a great bunt by Dobson.
You know, I don't think Connolly did anything wrong there. I think that was just the speed of Dobson that perfectly placed bunt. Hats off to him.
So runner on for Justin Bertaccio. Walked in the 1st, but was batted in with Veer's home run. Out with a fielder's choice in the 2nd, and had a fly out in the 4th. Decker sets. Check at first. Looks again. This time throws to first to Stanford's Matt Decker. First pitch to Bertaccio. And there's strike 1.
It's actually kind of funny on the roster that is around Herman Brothers Field. It's kind of posted in the clubhouse, posted kind of a little bit everywhere. Their middle names are on the roster. Tell them apart.
Throw back to first. Decker back on the mound. 0-1 count to Bertaccio. Here's the pitch. Low and away, ball 1. Dobson with quite the lead off of first.
Most times start thinking about player of the game?
Yeah, just about that.
Almost.
I have someone in mind already. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back towards the first base dugout for strike 2.
Yeah, I think I did too. For a second, I was thinking like, I was trying to think about, all right, who could it be? Who could it be? Nobody really seems obvious, and then I just thought about that. I don't know why I didn't think about it.
1-2 count now for Bertaccio. Low and away, same spot as last pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Do you like how I gave you my hint of who I was thinking?
I will give the people a hint. He plays baseball in Texas.
There's quite a few of them on the Miners team. It doesn't give it away. It's a good hint. Throw back to first. Bertaccio slides in and is safe.
There's a big gap in center. and right center. Well, more just center.
Swung on, and it's a line drive into left field. Wonderlick gets it on one hop. Runners will advance safely. Dobson on second, Portacio on first. Now they're all shifting back, so you can't use your marker tool.
Oh, I got excited. It's unfortunate. It's okay.
Brings up Chester Pack, the center fielder. Out on a fielder's choice in the first. Reached on a single in the third. Stole second base. Reached third on a fielder's choice, but was left on. Then was struck out by Ryan Hendricks in the fourth. Swings at the first pitch. High fly ball into deep right. Going back for it as Newell at the wall. Runners tag. And Dobson into third. But Portacio will stay at first. So now runners on the corners. Tying run at first base and Justin Portacio. Leading run now at the plate and Kevin Veers. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Veers with 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 5 doubles. No triples. Lefty versus lefty between Decker and Veers. First pitch, runner goes at first. It's a fly ball into left center field. And that is down for a at the wall. Frost chases it. 1 run scores. Veers heads into third, and it's a triple for Veers. And things are tied up now at 5 runs each here in the bottom of the 6th.
Kevin Veers, certainly right now, if you're the Pilots player of the game for them, boy, had a 2-run home run in the first and now a 2-run triple.
Now head coach Ben Taylor coming out of the dugout for the Miners, and the whole infield will head to the mound to talk it over with Matt Decker.
He has 4 RBIs now. Dobson with the other one.
Veers now with 16 RBIs total. And it looks like a pitching change now for the Miners. We will take a quick break. We get everything you need to know on the new pitcher. And things tied up at 5 runs apiece here in the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Ryan Oglesby on the mound now for the Miners here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 away. And things tied up at 5. Then triple by Kevin Veers. Dobson and Protasio scored. And the first pitch to Trevor Podratz, high and inside for ball 1. Podratz 0 for 2 with a ground out in the first, a walk in the third, and a strikeout in the 5th. That is ball 2 for Podratz.
Ryan Oglesby, the right-hander from Slippery Rock. 1-0.
2-0 pitch swung on, and that gets down for a base hit. RBI single for Trevor Podratz, and the first hit for the entire summer for Podratz.
Just a little flare to right.
Just enough to put the Pilots over the Miners, 6-5 now, bottom of the 6th with 2 away and a runner on. Brings up Sean Wood 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. So Veer scores on the RBI single by Podratz. And Sean Wood at the plate. Wood, the lefty. First pitch by Oglesby, outside and low for ball 1. Oglesby sets. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Frost playing a little bit deep into center, and Wunderlich playing deep in left. Newell also playing deep in right. 2-0 pitch, outside, ball 3, and that's 3 balls in a row by Oglesby. That catches the high outside corner for strike 1 by Oglesby. Wood hitting .231, 8 RBIs, 3 doubles, 2 triples. 3-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball into center field. Podratz heads to second, and Wood with the single.
That's 3 straight hits for the Pilots.
Nico Signs now heads to the plate, and Josh Meyer, the miner, the catcher, heads out to talk with Oglesby. And there is definitely movement out in the Miners dugout. Excuse me, bullpen. The dugout too. Signs 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th. First pitch. Because it was a little outside for ball 1. The outfield still playing deep. Signs with 5 home runs. Swung on, foul back for strike 1. Signs with a single in the 5th. Reached second on a pass ball, but then was left on base.
Oglesby pitched in game 1 yesterday, 2 1/3 scoreless innings.
1-1 pitch, low, ball 2.
Gave up just 1 hit. Faced 8 batters. This is his 4th time facing the Pilots.
2-1 pitch, high, ball 3.
7th overall appearance, 8 1/3, 7 strikeouts. Got the win on the 24th against the Chinooks.
3-1 pitch, fouled back, now full count. 3-2 count for Signs with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Podratz on second, Sean Wood on first. Pilots lead 6-5 here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 pitch. Inside for ball 4, bases full of Pilots. That is a 4th straight base runner for the Pilots. And this is all with 2 outs. Veers, Podratz, Wood, and Signs have all reached base with 2 outs. And it brings up Clayton Taylor, designated hitter, 0 for 2. Has grounded out to first base twice in the 4th and 5th inning. And Josh Meyer heads out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher, Ryan Oglesby.
Oglesby might be getting some signs from the dugout. He's just kind of staring in there. Or someone's trying to say something to him.
Well, and head coach Ben Taylor now coming out from the dugout. And the infield will head to the mound. Kind of talk things over with Oglesby. Bases are loaded. And we will have a new pitcher. Sign has... We'll take a quick break to bring you everything you need to know about the new pitcher for the Miners. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Bases loaded with Pilots 2 away. And the Pilots lead 6-5 over the Miners. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. That is Hunter Rodriguez on the mound for the Miners. Saw Rodriguez last night in game 2 of the doubleheader. Rodriguez had 2 strikeouts in his showing. He faces Clayton Taylor, the designated hitter, in the bottom of the 6th. The Pilots have scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th to put them over the Miners 6-5. Bases are loaded for Taylor. First pitch by Rodriguez, high and outside, ball 1. Taylor 0 for 2 was walked in the 2nd and grounded out to the first baseman, Matt Decker, in the 4th and 5th innings. 1-0 pitch by Rodriguez, fouled back for strike 1. Podratz on 3rd, reached on a single. Wood on 2nd, also reached on a single, and Nico Sainz was walked. 1-1 pitch. Inside, called strike. One-two pitch, swung on, fouled back. Count stays 1-2. And that's actually J.J. Wagner at the plate, pinch hitter. One-two count with the bases full of Pilots. Infield playing deep. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, low ball 2, and Hunter Rodriguez thought that was going to be called a strike and kind of headed off the mound. Back to the dugout. Tough call there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Swung on. It's a line drive into center field. But Podrats will score. Wood rounds third. Slides into home. So that is 2 more runs on the board. Signs heads to second. Taylor to first. And the Pilots now have batted around. And head coach Ben Taylor's talking with the umpire, not happy with that.
No.
Neither is the Miners fans.
I don't know what it's hard to tell what he's arguing about, but he's not happy. BT still barking.
So now 2 runners on for the Pilots, and we batted around the order. That is Colin Thoreau at the plate.
You know, I think he may have been arguing that pitch that we both thought was a strike.
Yeah, and
I
that
think that
Rodriguez
was it.
I thought it was a strike. That's a tough call, but brings up Colin Thoreau. Last at bat in the 6th, he grounded out. First pitch by Rodriguez, high for ball 1. Signs at second, Wagner at first. Rodriguez sets. 1-0. Big swing for strike 1. Hunter sets with the 1-1 count. And there for strike 2.
Miners had a couple chances to get that last out. A lot of two strike hits for the Pilots.
One, 2 pitch. Breaking ball outside for ball 2.
Home plate umpire doesn't give a lot of room.
No, he does not. 2-2 pitch coming from Rodriguez. He sets, delivers. Low and away, ball 3, now full count. And the Pilots have put 5 batters on with 2 outs here in the 6th. 3-2 count to Thoreau. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Miners able to get out of this one, and the first strikeout of the night for Rodriguez. But 5 runs score on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 left on as we head to the top of the 7th. The Miners now trail the Pilots 8-5. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the 7th here at Mulcahy, and Miners now find themselves down 8-5. Cam Newell at the plate for the Miners. Johnny York still on the mound for the Pilots. Newell had a double in the 3rd. Fouls this one back behind us. Newell had a fly out in the 1st, double in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 5th, then reached 3rd on another error, but then was left on base. 1-1 count by Johnny York. And that pitch just gets away from him.
Yeah, he was trying for a breaking ball and it went
over and behind Newell.
Yeah.
Thoreau, the catcher, just didn't even move to try and catch it. It's kind of one of those 2-1 pitch. One of those pitches you see in Bull Durham, which you have not seen, by Lelouch, the pitcher.
You have asked me maybe like 6 times in the last month
3-1 pitch, outside ball 4.
if I'll watch it.
And I have it now. I borrowed it from Pete Christopher, our general manager.
I just don't have the time. I just don't.
That's a disappointment because it's one of the best movies. I was actually talking about it with, I think it was Conley and Blazer, and we were just shooting out quotes from it. It's the best baseball movie out there.
Oh, I would disagree.
Classic.
I've never seen it, though.
I know, you like The Rookie, which is a close second.
I do love that movie.
Close second. But Bull Durham is just perfect. Meyer at the plate, swung on ground ball, and with a diving catch with Protasio, Meyer, but doesn't make the throw. So Meyer is able to reach first on the single, and Newell moves up to second. So that's 2 base runners in a row now for the Miners, bringing up Nick Senzel. He's been walked twice, once in the 2nd, once in the 4th, and then was struck out in the 5th.
Yeah, the Miners have something going now, and they got to keep it going, moving into the bottom part of that lineup. They're 5 runs in the 6th inning for the Pilots. They had that lead. They're down by 3. Got to find a way to come back. That Miner magic. And now's a good opportunity with the tying run at the plate and Nick Senzel.
York sets. Here's the first pitch, and there for a strike.
Need that rally from the Valley.
They had a rally in the Valley yesterday night. The Seagull flies over the infield. 0-1 pitch to breaking ball. Little inside for ball 1. 1-1 count for Senzel. Pitch by York, high and inside, ball 2.
We were talking about the home plate umpire and how he's not really, his strike zone's not really flexible.
2-1 pitch, inside, ball gets away from him, and the runners will advance for the Miners. Newell to 3rd, Meyer to 2nd.
And, I think it's not just the Miners, it's both teams. Darren Westergaard, the manager for the Pilots, out to talk with Johnny York. Don't know if a pitching change has been made.
York's had a couple of rough pitches here with the ball pitch over the head of Newell. And now one that gets away from him, pitching to Senzel. But York will stay out there. Finish this for Senzel. 3 balls, 1 strike. With runners on 2nd and 3rd. Tying run at the plate. York sets. 3-1 pitch. Way outside. The ball gets away from Thoreau. Gets away from York. So the bases are loaded with Miners, and the pitch got away from Thoreau. Meyer was caught in between 2nd and 3rd, thought that Newell was going to head home with that pass ball, but Newell backed up to third. Meyer was stuck between the bases, and Thoreau was trying to throw it back to York, and York dropped it. So Meyer was able to get back to second safely. So now the bases are loaded. That's 2 walks out of the last 3 batters for York.
Meyer was easily like 2/3 down that line. He was really close to third, and I was just waiting for Newell to come through.
That brings up Stanford's Matt Decker. And the official scoring is that Newell and Meyer advanced on the wild pitch. 1-0 foul down the third base side.
Still nobody out. Tying run is Senzel at first. Go-ahead run is Decker at the plate.
Decker 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out, and a walk. 1-1 pitch, inside, ball 2.
Miners have base coach changes.
2-1 pitch, ground ball down the third base side. Throw home, throw to first, and it's a 5-2-3 double play for the Pilots.
Newell is out number 1 at third, at home, and Decker is out number 2 at first.
But Meyer is safe at third and Senzel safe at second. Quickly 2 outs here. Brings up Cameron Frost.
Not a bad guy to have at the plate in this situation.
Frost had a reach on a fielder's choice, was walked, and lined out. 1-0 pitch. And it's a line drive caught by Kevin Veers, the third baseman. Diving catch, what a play. And that ends the inning with another line out by Cameron Frost. So as we head to the bottom of the 7th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Stay with us for the 7th inning stretch. Miners trail 8-5. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. John Farindelli on the mound for the Miners. Another pitching change for Matsu. Farindelli will first face Ryan Dobson. Dobson 2 for 3. First pitch, throws bunt, pulls back. I guess it was a little outside for ball 1. Dobson with a strikeout in the second by Ryan Hendricks. Fouls this one back, strike 1. Had a double in the 4th, a single in the 6th. And scored one of the 5 runs by the Pilots in the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch by Farindelli, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Boy, Kevin Veers just hurting the Miners tonight.
1-2 pitch by Farindelli. Foul back again. Count stays at 1-2.
That foul ball sponsored by Carl's Jr.
Miners looking to get something started here at the bottom of the 7th. Maybe take some momentum, head to the top of the 8th. Breaking ball, line drive into shallow center field. That's a base hit for Ryan Dobson. Back to the top of the order for the Pilots. Justin Protasio, the shortstop, was walked in the first, scored a run. Thrown out with a fielder's choice in the 2nd, had a fly out in the 4th, and a single in the 6th, and also scored a run. Protasio, the lefty, facing Farindelli, the right-handed pitcher. Farindelli looks into Meyer, sets. Here's the pitch, low and away, ball 1.
I think Meyer is keeping an eye on Dobson at first, and that's one of the reasons why he's setting up outside.
Runner goes at first, the throw by Meyer, and it gets past Senzel, the second baseman, into right center. And Dobson heads into 3rd and is in there safely.
That might be an error on Meyer.
The ball took a hop, and I don't think Senzel just missed it.
I think what happened was they tried to do that because sometimes when you do that, you just get the ball gets there sooner and gets them right at the time. It's an easier tag, I think.
1-1 pitch, fouled back for strike 2, and I think there was some extra curve on the ball also by Meyer, and that whenever it bounced to the right, to our right, and Senzel, I think, was expecting it to just jump in his glove. Nonetheless, Dobson on 3rd. 1-2 pitch by Farindelli. Little inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Farindelli didn't like that call by the home plate umpire.
I think we've said that a lot for these pitchers.
Yeah.
Doesn't like a lot of these calls. Panachone, the shortstop, playing in. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3. Now full count for Protasio.
Cameron Pongs is coaching first base with something very interesting on his head. I have no idea what that is.
3-2 pitch, fouled off.
I know you have. Do you have any idea what that is?
Looks like there's a lot of tape on his helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. It's hard to see.
I wonder if the helmet cracked and they're just trying to tape it together.
It doesn't seem safe.
No.
3-2 pitch. Swung on, foul again.
Protasio from Hawaii.
Carl's Jr.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on 3rd, nobody out. Pitch by Farindelli. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th, and the first strikeout for Farindelli. Brings up Chester Pack. Thrown out in the 1st, had a single in the 3rd, stole 2nd, reached 3rd on a fielder's choice, was left on. Struck out in the 4th by Ryan Hendricks, and had a fly out in the 6th. Righty versus righty. Farindelli pitches. Big swing for strike 1. I think that's kind of the only sure way that the Miners pitchers are going to get strikes is the swings and misses.
Absolutely.
I don't think they can really rely on the called strikes. 0-1 in the dirt, gets behind Meyer. In comes Dobson, and Dobson scores the 8th run of the game. Excuse me, the 9th run. Now Pack with a 1-1 count. Pilots lead 9-5 here in the bottom of the 7th.
It's been a little bit of a combination of mistakes in this one.
1-1 pitch, swung on. That gets down in right field for a base hit for Chester Pack. And I just think another thing that's going against these Miners is that the Pilots are just kind of on a hit streak here. They're kind of feeling it tonight. You know, some days your hitting is on, and no matter what the other team can do pitching-wise, it's just a struggle. And that brings up Kevin Veers, who is kind of the Pilots player of the game tonight.
Kind of.
First pitch by Farindelli is outside.
You know, he is the reason. I don't want to say he's the reason the Miners are losing. He's the reason that the Miners only have 5 runs.
Swung on, fouled back for strike 1.
I have to say that his 2 plays at third base in the top of the 7th, that is the reason the Miners only have 5 runs. He robbed the Miners of tying that game twice.
Not to mention his 2-run home run. 1-1 pitch, high ball 2.
Right.
And RBI triple. Double RBI triple. So yeah, he's robbed them and has put runs on the board. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. He's also scored 2 runs himself. So yeah, he's been just outstanding tonight for the Pilots.
There's 4 RBIs, too.
2-2 pitch by Farindelli, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's the second out and second strikeout for Farindelli. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up Trevor Podratz. Grounded out in the first, walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, but then had a single in the 6th, RBI single, and scored a run later. And his single in the 6th was the first time he's hit against the Miners this whole summer. Dropped one down into shallow right field. First pitch by Farindelli, swung on, ground ball, slow roller. Conley picks it up, makes the throw to first, and that is the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 7th. The 5-3 put out. So we head to the top of the 8th. 1 run has scored on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Miners trail 9-5 now. So we head to the top of the 8th. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Dane Wunderlich, to start things, shows bunt, can't put it down. Strike 1, he offered. Wunderlich is 1 for 3 with a 3-run home run. That was in the 4th. But it's been the Kevin Veers show for the Pilots. They lead 9-5 in the top of the 8th. Second pitch from Johnny York is a breaking ball, a little high, 1-1. 1-1 from York. Inside, fastball 2-1, almost hit Wunderlich. It's been hit quite a few times this summer. 2-1. Inside again, fastball 3-1 on Wunderlich. Three 3-1 from York. Called strike fastball, 3-2. Nico Signs playing shallow and right. 3-2. Lined into left center. That's going to get down and roll the wall. Wunderlich rounds first, heads to second. Sean Wood picks it up, and Wunderlich is in the second with a leadoff double.
Great way to start things off here in the top of the 8th for the Miners by Wunderlich.
And here comes Terrence Connolly, 0 for 3. Grounded out to second in the 6th inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. 9-5, Pilots lead. 5-run, 6th inning for Anchorage. First pitch from Johnny York is a breaking ball that missed. Fans here don't like calls from the umpire. 1-0. Way outside. 2-0. And I don't think
That's a good call.
yeah. I don't think really either team likes a call from the umpires, or if they do, it just depends who's at the plate and who's on the mound. 2-0 to Connolly, way outside again, 3-0. And Johnny York with some command issues here to start top of the 8th. He's walked 2 in 2 innings. 3-0. Outside ball 4, 4-pitch walk. So now runners at first and second, and Paul Panachone coming to the plate.
Now, number 2, shortstop Paul Panachone.
Paul is 1 for 4, singled in the 6th. First pitch shows bunt and offers, but fouls it off. It's strike 1, 0-1. Wunderlich at second, Connolly at first. Nobody out. Both teams have committed 2 errors. 0-1. Here it is. Breaking ball up and away, 1-1.
York with definitely some command problems here, and was already had a little meeting on the mound with their pitching coach in the 7th.
1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Fastball. Kevin Veers has 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 4 tonight. 2-1 pitch. Shot fouler by the Miners dugout. 2-2 on Panachone. Miners have used 5 pitchers. Hendricks, Decker, Oglesby, Rodriguez, Barandelli. 2-2. Stays alive. Fouls a breaking ball off.
Panachone just got swung a little early on that breaking ball. Was lucky he got a piece of it. Able to stay alive.
Big gap in left center for him. 2-2 to Panachone. Just low. 3-2. Fans don't like the calls from this home plate umpire. 3-2 on Panachone. Here's the pitch from York. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mid of Colin Thoreau. Second strikeout for Johnny York, 1 away. We don't see Panachone strike out very much. It's very rare. That was his 13th. Breaking ball to Blazer in there for a strike. That was his 13th strikeout in 85 at-bats. 0-1. Called strike again. Fastball. Quickly 0-2 on Blazer. Nick is 1 for 3. He scored twice. Once in the 3rd, once in the 5th. Runners on first and second, 1 away. 0-2 from Johnny York. Breaking ball way outside 1-2. Start thinking about that player of the game. Tweet at us at AB on Miners. Send us an email or comment below. 1-2 to Blazer. Popped up on the infield. Infield fly. 2 away. I'll bring up Cam Newell. The guy you want at the plate in a situation like this. Newell, 1 for 3. RBI double in the 3rd. Scored Blazer. Lefty on lefty matchup.
Newell has been on base 3 out of the 4 times he's been to the plate.
The only time he was not on base, that was in the 1st. He flew out to center. First pitch. Breaking ball. Ball 1. Looked pretty good to me. One and 0. 2 away. Pilots lead 9-5. 1-0. Inside. 2-0.
York's windup. He brings his hands and his right leg.
Popped up. Calling throw, the catcher calling for it. Tosses the mask. Makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. We're through 7.5. Pilots lead 9-5 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher for the Miners. It's the right-hander from Pacific, Vince Arobio, the closer, a non-save situation. Pilots lead 9-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Sean Wood, Nico Sainz, J.J. Wagner. Against Arobio is 1-0, the 1.31 earned run average. This is his 10th appearance. He has 4 saves. Pitched 13 2/3 innings. First pitch to Wood, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Arobio got the win in last night's game. Win an inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts. 0-1. Fouled straight back a fastball 0-2. This is the 5th time Arobio is facing the Pilots. Miners are 6-2 in games which Arobio pitches in. 0-2. Called strike 3. First strikeout for Vince Arobio. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Brings up Nico Sainz. Nico is 1 for 3. Every batter in the Pilots lineup has at least 1 hit. Pack and Veers have 2. First pitch, popped up in shallow right. Nick Senzel behind the first base bag in shallow right. Makes the catch, 2 away. Brings up J.J. Wagner. Wagner 1 for 1. A single in the 6th. Scored Podrats and Wood. He replaced Clayton Taylor, who was 0 for 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Pilot scored 5 runs in that inning. First pitch from Arobio. Fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
I really like watching Vince Arobio pitch. We don't see him a whole lot in these late game situations, but when we do, he's just fantastic.
0-1. Check swing. Check it first. Did not go. 1-1.
Seems like he keeps his pitch count low, has those strikeouts early than the flyouts, and just really gets down to business quickly.
1-1. Fastball popped up on the infield. Nick Senzel behind the second base bag makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Vince Arobio. We're through 8. Time to rally from the valley. Pilots lead 9-5. We head to the top of the 9th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Time to rally from the valley. Pilots lead 9-5. We start the top of the 9th. Josh Meyer, Nick Senzel, and Matt Decker against Johnny York. It's been pretty solid in 3 innings. First pitch, hard grounder left side. Veers can't hold it. Picks it up, throws to first for out number 1. Boy, Kevin Veers has just done it all. He just robbed Josh Meyer of a base hit. Brings up Nick Senzel. Senzel is 0 for 1. That was a strikeout. He's walked the other 3 times. Hard chopper to third. Veers again. Throws across the diamond. A first, 2 away. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Last chance. It's Matt Decker coming to the plate.
Now batting number 20, first baseman, Matt Decker.
Decker 1 for 3 with an RBI. First pitch from York is a called strike. 0-1. Stay with us for the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. It's a quick one as we're on the road and travel back with the team. 0-1 to Decker in the dirt, 1-1. Reveal our player of the game. And recap this one. 1-1. Rounded foul over by the Miners dugout. Miners used 6 pitchers tonight. Hendricks, Decker, Oglesby, Rodriguez, Farindelli, and Arobio. Time called. Farindelli went an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Decker. Chopper to third. Veers has it, throws to first, and that'll end it. Miners fall to the Pilots 9-5 in this 4-game series. The Pilots take it 3-1. And it seems like it's just been a tough stretch. Been a tough stretch for the Miners.
Yeah, definitely. And having to use so many pitchers from the bullpen and even a starter, Farindelli, that was just a rough kind of pitching outing for the Miners.
Yeah, it was also, I think part of it was they put the bat on the ball really well. I'm going to give them that.
13 hits.
Yep.
You can't be mad about that.
Yeah, it was Kevin Veers, and he just seemed to really do it all. As the coaches are shaking hands at home plate, the Pilots are celebrating on the field, and we're going to take a break and go to the Matsu Miners postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, so stay with us. Back on the Matsu Miners postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. The Pilots get the win 9-5 over the Matsu Miners in a 5-run 6th. Offense from Kevin Veers. Defense from Kevin Veers. Kevin Veers did it for the Pilots. He pretty much secured this one. Of course, it was a team effort. Pilots had 13 hits and 9 runs. The Miners got 7 hits. But, they really put the bat on the ball, and it just seemed like Kevin Veers was always there, making diving plays at third base. And it's just like, it was really just the Miners couldn't catch a break. That's really what it was.
Yeah, definitely. And Veers just had some great hops. He was diving for most of those balls, and most of the time you see the ball go below the player's glove, above it. It takes a weird hop, stuff like that. And it's just bad luck for that player. But Veers everything went his way today and was able to make those plays. And for the Miners, our player of the game, Dane Wunderlich, had a 3-run home run shot in the 4th inning. Really kept the Miners in this game and kept the morale high. And then had a double and got on base in the top of the 8th. But then was left on base. The Miners just couldn't bat him in, along with Conley. So Wunderlich really kind of that spark for the Miners, but just not enough as they fall 9-5.
Yeah, Dane Wunderlich 2 for 4 with that home run, 3 RBIs. He had the 3 of the 5 RBIs actually. The other one to Newell and then the other to Decker. But also the pitching was wasn't as good as we've seen it. The bullpen not as strong as we've seen it. That's for sure. Not all Ryan Hendricks. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. But Matthew Decker 3 runs, Oglesby 2, Hunter Rodriguez a 1/3 of an inning. Ryan Oglesby didn't record an out. And it was just not the day. It's a skid right now. We thought that maybe the walk-off last night would turn into a little bit of momentum, and they had it. They had the lead, but it's just that 5-run 6th inning. Off day tomorrow. That might help a little bit, and then they go to Kenai and face the Oilers a weekend on the road.
That's right, and the momentum, that just wasn't enough. This Pilots team, BT said it last night, they're very talented, and this is a tough race for the National League lead, and Miners still have it, but barely now, falling 2 out of 3 of these games to the Pilots. But yeah, the day off, that'll be some good rest, get your mind off, kind of regroup, and before you travel and head down to Kenai. But final here, 9-5. The Pilots beat the Miners.
You had said, I actually just looked at the standings. The Miners dropped to 14-8. The Pilots improved to 14-8, so
they're tied.
They're tied up in the National League. For Emma Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollack. Once again, the final score: the Pilots beat the Miners 9-5. We will see you in Kenai on Friday night.